Hello, my friends, and welcome to a special episode of Kindred Stitch Folk. I'm your host, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends. Okay, so today, on this special episode, we are going to talk about my 45 for 45. So as you can see, I have a lot of projects around me. So some of these are all of these are my cross stitching. I've got a whole bin of knitting projects right beside me as well. I've got some of my paper piecing supplies beside me because here is what I mean by 45 in 45. So you've heard of some of these ladies doing 50 new starts in their 50th year. Well, I decided that I wanted to do 45 finishes in my 45th year. So here's the deal though. I'm 44. I don't turn 45 until July 24th of 2026. But I'm starting it now because giving myself the allowance to cast on however I want. And plus, I thought this was a great opportunity for me to take the temperature of my um, projects and what I have going on. Now, this past week I was pretty sick yet again. I know. Enough of the sickness, Emily. Yeah, we're 6 weeks in. Turns out I have a really bad sinus infection as well. So I've been doing and since I'm allergic to penicillin now, I have to do the fake penicillin, which made me even sicker. Um, but not allergic. So, but Sunday I had a little bit more energy, and so I took the time. I created a spreadsheet on my Excel file in my Excel program, which I am going to. I haven't decided if I'm going to give it away for free because it took me most of the day to create this with all the formulas and the macros. Um, but also, I'm going to translate it also into from Excel, also into Google Sheets so that people who don't have Excel can use this. Uh, and it tracks how much what projects you have, what category of project it's in, when you started it, any goals that you have set for yourself, any dream projects that you have, your budget on the projects. I have a dashboard that gives you a quick breakdown over everything that you've got going on. It's just not as pretty as I would like to put out there. Like I was focused on the formulas and things like that. And I'm going to share that with you at the end of this video. I'm going to show you what I did. But for now, what I discovered is that I haven't gone through all of my knitting projects, but I currently in this tub here, which I cannot lift, I have 10 projects in there, or is it 11? Um, and two of which I'm going to frog, and then one of which is literally just a sweater's quantity of yarn. There's no project, no nothing in here. By the way, if you're ever wondering where I get 90% of my bags, it's from three places. For me to buy them, I buy from the Fat Squirrel. This is one of her bags. It's her Huga bag. So, and then if it's a waxed canvas one, usually I get them from my friend Stephanie, who makes them for me. And then, of course, if it's which I don't have one in here right now. If it's one of my other special bags, it's usually from my Charming You uh, and Maureen at Charming You. I do have a few special project bags in here. Like I kept the tags on them so I know. So this is from the Handmaker's bag, and I met her at a stitching retreat that was not a big retreat at all. It was just a bunch of friends. Okay, so um, my friend is a knitting designer down in Portland, and I'll insert a couple of her designs on here for you. And uh, when I was getting divorced from my ex-husband, she knew that I needed a break, and so she graciously for free let me join in her little retreat that she had put together for friends and makers. And we just went out to the seaside to a beautiful cabin and um, we all just stitched, and we bought lots of bags from the handmaker's bags who is up in Washington, and we just had a grand old time. We watched, oh crap, what was the movies we watched? It was so hilarious. We were laughing so hard, and I can't remember what video it was. Was that the year that I can't remember. Never mind. Anyway, and we had great food. We went for lots of walks on the beach and stitched on the beach, and it was just so low key. I did a lot of journaling trying to figure out like what my next steps were going to be. And everybody, like, we gave you space, but then also like we stitched together a lot, like, especially at the dining room table. It was so beautiful. So I think I got this one too from her. Yes, the handmaker's bag. I got this one too from her that weekend. Aren't they beautiful? She's amazing. Anyway, so but this is only one tub. I have a whole nother tub of whips for knitting and crochet in my closet that I just couldn't bring myself to pull out. So I'm imagining I have probably about 20 projects in knitting. And currently, and now my cross stitch is not completely up to date. I have about 12 or 14 projects for cross stitching. And so that already puts me at about 33 or something like that. Um, but here's the deal, the rule that I've made for myself. Nothing counts for the 45 in 45 if it was finished before my birthday. And at the same time, I am not allowed to put off finishing something just so that I can have a finish in my 45th birthday year. So so I've got all these kind of rules for myself, but at the same time, I'm being very loosey goosey. I'm allowed to cast on whatever I want. My main goal is, like I said, just to have 45 finishes of whatever project or craft type that I want in my birth year of next year, from July 24th, 2026 to July 24th, 2027. So that's going to be my goal. But for right now, I'm having a great time prepping for it and just seeing where I'm at and giving myself carte blanche to cast on whatever I want. It's just amazing. So I'm just going to show you a few of the highlights of some um, of the knitting projects or projects that I have in my dreamscape that I'm going to cast on. So first off, my sisters and I met for a few minutes, and then I had to go home because I was just so sick. And they were going to teach me how to paper piece. Now, I've tried paper piecing on my own in the past, and I have been successful, but I've also felt like I was missing some key components. So I really wanted to meet with my sisters to do this. Now I got these little charm packs on sale. These are the mini charm packs. They were on sale a couple weeks back on the Fat Quarter Shop for like $2, but now they're back up to like 4.45. So just be aware of that. If they were at 4.45, I would not have bought these. Oh, and why is there such lighting behind me going on? We don't have power right now. So we are recording and stitching by candlelight, okay? And firelight. Um, so I am so I was meeting with my sisters so they could teach me how to paper piece better, but that didn't work out because I ended up having to go home. But my dream project for this is to paper piece myself a sort of a mat. It's the project roll that people can get, that other people make, to roll up your cross stitching, so you're not folding it, but you're rolling it up in a fabric bundle so that doesn't get dirty, it doesn't crease and all this kind of stuff. I love that idea. And I needed something to paper piece. I don't need anything with paper piecing. This is a totally indulgent craft for me. I literally have no need for anything, but I want to learn and I want to do it. One of the things my sister does is she paper pieces really tiny, tiny hexagons. And then she just, when she's got a size she likes, she takes one of her frames that she's thrifted and she just frames that piece and puts it on her wall. And it's gorgeous. There's a particular one that I think used to be like a mirror, and it's an oval shape and it's a gilded golden frame that that she thrifted. My sister's even better at thrifting than I am, and um, and she's got paper piecing in there, and it's my favorite. I just it brings me so much peace and comfort when I see it on her wall. And so I'm probably going to do something like that as well. But for now, I want to do the project roll up. I don't know what I'm calling it. So that's in my dreamscapes. Another thing in my dreamscapes are things like, um, I guess I put it away, casting on or starting the um, tree skirt, Christmas tree skirt. I plan on casting that on sometime next year and hopefully finishing it next year too, or in my 45th, for one of my 45ths. As well as a lot of my dreams are honestly to finish a lot of the projects that I have going on, but also to not limit myself to say that I can't start something until something else is done. No, I'm not saying that to myself. I can just go ahead and start. So I wanted to show you a couple of my favorite um, projects that I have in my stitching universe, in my knitting universe, that I have actually forgotten about until I started my recording everything on my spreadsheet. And I also even went into Ravelry to make sure that they were even in Ravelry. And yeah, I was really good about putting everything in Ravelry. I just don't remember things. But one of my favorite things that I've ever cast on, it's so beautiful, and I cannot tell you why I have not finished it, is the Suburban Wrap by Hohi Locatelli. And this uses three different fingering weight yarns, and you're creating a bunch of different arrow-shaped panels. We've got lace, stripes, we've got a simpler eyelet lace, then we've got, I think this one is like a texture. It's not a moss stitch, but there's some uh, differences in knitting and purling to create a texture. Then we've got garter stitch, and then we go back to the texture, then we go back to the stripes, and now I'm back on the eyelet row. And then I can't remember, let me look on her pattern. I can't remember if I then have another lace. I think I do have another lace section. I thought the lace was only at the beginning and the end, but it looks like I just love how it's kind of like so random, and yet, so here's a picture of the finished piece. So there's a lace panel here as well as up here. So this would be my lace panel that I've completed. And then it looks as if I would, because I think I'm about right here. I think. Yeah, I think I'm about right there. So I've got a couple more sections before I get the next lace panel. And it looks like it ends with the eyelet down there section. But you honestly could just keep on going. Because of the way she created this pattern, you don't have to ever stop. You could create a Doctor Who um kind of shawl. Now, I know I have three yarns, but I only technically know the names of two of them because my white one here, I actually got as a mystery mill end from one of the yarn mills in Washington. And so it feels like it's just merino, but also the twist on it is so beautiful. And it is fingering weight. I did test it. But the other two I have is I have Plucky Sock, and don't ask me why they called this color and Move Over Darling. I never understand what Plucky calls things, the things that they do. I think they have the worst naming system in the world. Also, I used to have a subscription to Plucky Sock, and I never will do that again. I don't really technically like this company. So, and I can't tell you exactly why. I apologize for that. It was just a delivery guy delivering some more goodies for us. Been making sensory boxes for Jimmy. He's currently playing in one of the ones I made this weekend with dried beans for his construction vehicles. So he likes to fill up his construction vehicles with the beans. I don't know if you can hear him. I never know what the mic picks up. But I was rudely interrupted and I was telling you about the yarn for the suburban wrap. So, like I said, this is a mill end yarn that is a mystery yarn, but it is fingering weight. This is Plucky Knitter, and this is Swift Yarns, which is so beautiful because it is not only striped, it is a speckled yarn. Wait, no, it's only a speckled yarn, sorry. And I love speckled yarns. I absolutely love them. So it's speckled and very short variegations. And so I love this yarn so much. If you're wondering, that colorway is, here it is. That colorway is from Tough Love Socks in the Folklore colorway. And I believe I got that on my honeymoon. I'm not positive. No, I couldn't have because I started this in 2018. This is one of my oldest whips. You guys want to see my oldest knitting whip? Okay, that is actually in this box. I started this project back in 2011, and back then I didn't have project bags, so I used to backpack all the time, and so I used to use my dry sack backpack bags from REI a lot for my project bags. Now I just use them for what they were intended for camping and stuff. But this is the catkin shawl by, oh, what's her name? Kadri? Something like that. What's her name? That's, and it's a surprisingly intricate pattern that required a lot of thought. Karina Spencer. So this is what, let me go back and find that page. So this is what it will end up looking like. That's the back of it. And so there's these beautiful textured, there's texture everywhere, but it's interesting because it combines a lot of lace techniques to create that texture, and yet there's no lace. It's interesting. And I am using Rowan Lima, so that's 84% baby alpaca, 8% merino wool, and 8% nylon in three different colors. So this is the natural, I believe. They don't give their stuff. Yeah, they don't give their stuff. Sorry, weird sound from my kitchen. This is colorway 889. Very, very telling. But this is also from 2011. And I am on I've got so many stitches on. I think I'm on the end, honestly. I've done all the striping and now I'm on the textured lacy bit. So this right here, if it was truly lacy, right here, you would be able to see some of the lace come through, but the way she designed it, it closes up the yarn overs. It's just fascinating. Anyway, I always forget where I'm at on this project, so I never pick it up. But I actually would really like to finish this year. I have a feeling we're going to have a very cold winter this year, and so I would like to be able to wrap myself up in that. Now, you might ask yourself, Emily, does that mean you like the Hunter Games or something like that? The Hunger Games. Never read it, never seen the movies. I just like the shawl, and it happened to be called Catkin. I don't know if it's related. And the last project I'll show in here is one of my, sorry, I gotta find it. It's a pattern that I had started for my wedding socks, but then I lost the project, so then I had to start a different pair of socks. for my wedding and got those done. But this is Tea and Scandal by This Handmade Life, I believe. Am I right? This Handmade Life. And it's so beautiful. It's from her Marple series, Miss Marple series. It's so beautiful. I need to get my cork board so you can see things better. And it's so beautiful. I have one sock done, and these are toe-up socks, which I usually don't do, but it's important to do the toe-up method on this lace one. I could not reverse engineer it to be top down. I remember I tried, but I just could not figure out how to get that reverse engineered. And the yarn I'm using for this is Three Sisters fiber, uh, the Moxie sock, and this is a set. You want a spoon instead of a fork? Um, okay. I don't know. Maybe the colorway is Beneath the Three Sisters Mountain, but I love this is so beautiful. And then it came with a natural mini. And so I plan on finishing those as well. And I knit these on, it looks like zeros, not double zeros, just regular zeros on my interchangeables. So those are some of the projects I have for knitting. That's just a sampling. I've got sweaters. Actually, you know what? I will show you my oldest sweater too. I cast this sweater on back in 2018. It is called Once in Floral by Maxine Sear. See, here's the thing. Do you guys notice how I can remember all these things for knitting? It's because my house is making so much noise right now. That was just the fireplace insert popping. Oy! Okay, it's all right, teddy bear. So I can remember all of these because I've been knitting for so long, and I had a knitting YouTube channel for so long that it just rolls off my tongue. For cross stitch, maybe someday I'll get there, but I'm not there yet. But I fell in love with this pattern the moment he came out with it. I fell in love with it. Now, this was designed for the man's silhouette. He did not even try to attempt to make it um, compatible with the woman's silhouette. And so I have really broad shoulders, and then I've got a really large chest. So generally speaking, I have to cast on for this part, especially if I'm doing top down. This part is usually 2 times larger than my belly size as far as charts go and pattern sizes go. So I cast on for the 1X, essentially the 1X size for the top, and I think I had forgotten to try to size down for the body of the sweater. And so I knit the entire sweater in that size. And this is, by the way, drop shoulder with drop arms and everything. I did not calculate for the number of stitches on the sleeves, nothing. So what happened is I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I tried it on. I had cast it off and everything. I tried it on and it was so voluminous on me. I looked ridiculous. So I ripped everything out to just below the color work and just below the arm separation. And I recalculated the stitch count for what my actual belly size would be. And I stitched it up. Now, I can't tell right now on that if I went a little too far because it feels a little tiny bit suctiony on my body, which I don't like. I like about a 1 inch of ease on my garments that I knit, 1 to 2 inches of ease. But as for the arms, I'm having to decrease and create my decrease schedule. I have it all written down in my pattern quite strongly because I have very skinny arms, and these armholes are just ridiculous. So I think I kind of got frustrated with the whole process once I had knit the entire body of the sweater again, and then I tried it on and I was like, "Oh, I think I went too small on the body." And then I was trying to figure out the whole arm situation. And so I put it aside in another one of my Fat Squirrel Speaks bags. I don't remember what she did for this might have also been a Huga. Is this also a Huga? Did I buy two Hugas? Because I think I did. I bought two Hugas. I had one in each color and one in each size. Her large and sweater size. This is her sweater size bag. That's so funny. I just recognized that. So that's just a sampling. Um, I haven't figured out a sweater to cast on for Jimmy for Christmas. I don't know if I will. I'd like to. I don't have any actual strong plans to cast on anything new. I would just really like to complete some of these projects. I know I've got a couple of shawl whips in the other bin, and there's got to be at least one more sweater whip in there. Um, but then as for let's see, what was I going to show you? As for my stitching, I will show you my new cast-ons this week. I cast on two new projects. And no, three new projects. In this bag, I've got three bags. This is by Cutie Pie. Does she have her tag on here anywhere? It came with a thread bed, or did I buy the thread bed separate? I don't know. She doesn't have her tag anywhere on here. But I think it's Cutie Pie something, Stitchery or something. Well, you guys might remember that I said I'm doing a smalls exchange with my Discord group. It's not mine, it's just the part that I'm a member of. Well, I cast on the one. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Is it in here? Okay, so I cast on the one by one of my favorite Etsy sellers. I think this is called something like Good Morning Winter or something like that. And I did some good work on it. I got most of the border done, and there are quite a lot of mistakes in this border, but I made it work. And what you can't see very well is I did a lot of the snowflakes as well. And I wasn't very good with the snowflakes either. So I was kind of like, oh, and I started it on the house. So I was kind of like, I'm not really sure if this is good enough quality to give, but I still want it for me. So then I went looking and I saw Crochetta A Go-Go has a bunch of free patterns on her website. They only download as pictures, so I converted the one that I'm using into a PDF. But it's called something like I think it's just called Winter. Um, and and so I started that one last night over here. Yes, honey. You want mama? Do you want to come see me? Okay. Okay, come see me, Mr. Cheese Face. Want to say hi to everybody? Hi. Say hi. Hi. I want no chocolate. No chocolate. No. You got to eat your mac and cheese first, mister. No, what do we want to... chocolate. I know. Chocolate. I know. Mommy did give you a chocolate when the power first went out because didn't want you to be scared. Yeah. Didn't I? Yeah. 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 It's real mommy's. Yeah, mommy's yarn. All of this is mommy's stuff. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, look, this is so big and you don't see the legs. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. So I have some I buy in bulk some plain Ada on Amazon. I've got 14 count, 16 count, 18 count, and 20 count. And it's just all white Ada. There's nothing special. And each one of the things that I buy is about 6 feet long. And so I can then cut off what I need and then either use it as white or hand dye it to whatever color I want. So I hand dyed this 18 count, or no, sorry, this is a 16, no, 18 count. This is 18 count, which is acting a little bit more like 19 count if there was such a thing. Yeah, honey. Because during the dyeing process, things shrink up a little bit. The fibers kind of um do that. But then, of course, the Ada is a lot softer. Are you showing them some of my yarn? Yeah, look. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a yard. So this for the purples.
Yeah, you love the purples, huh? Mama loves the purples.
Yeah.
But I have two projects on this piece here. I have got a free pattern. Oh crap, I forgot who it's by and what it's called. But I've got a free pattern on there and I just stitched the entire width of the piece in snow. So I've got that on there. And then over here, I just barely started last night the snow for the Crocetta A Go-Go winter free piece. And both of these will be good for either the Smalls Exchange or for my house. So I just kind of feel like I'm just going to stitch them in tandem. And he's repeating everything I say. Yep. And so what I did was with the floss, I got it all from my stash, and I just put the floss for both projects onto one key ring, still using my card method. And I have them all labeled and stuff. I'm running out of my DMC labels, and so a couple of these, like, 310, I just wrote on there 310. So, uh, there was a couple of them I thought that I'm running out of, but whatever. Anyway, so I've got it all in there and it's quite convenient. I've got a thread bed with this project bag, which I would be using if I wasn't so sick all the time right now. So that it's got to the point that my husband just got me a little tiny trash can to have beside me all the time. So right now I'm just putting the thread ends into the trash right beside me. You like repeating, Mama, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You love my yarn too. Should we show them what the doggies did to one of my yarns?
Yeah.
The doggies love my yarn too, so you know better, huh?
Yeah.
So they grab my yarn and they think it's a toy.
Yeah, I was ready to be the fire.
Oh, no, no, no. We're not putting it in the fire. Heck no. You can wear it as a hat. There you go. Oh, that's such a good fit. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
And the other piece that I'll quickly show you that I cast on this week, because I think these are the only ones that you haven't seen. I think. Who's calling me? Whoops. Okay. So I bought this kit back in midsummer. I think I bought it for my birthday. I think I showed this to you guys last week that I intended to cast this on. So I have done that. The Civil War blanket or Civil War blocks by Servant's Heart's Design, designed by Jane Stickles. Oh, I think the quilt was designed by Jane Stickles back in 1863. That makes more sense. But here's what it looks like. Now, I love the pattern. I don't love the graph or the symbols they're using for it. My suspicion is that they made one master copy of the pattern and then they've been copying off of that master copy ever since. And if you guys are aware, it doesn't matter how good your copier is. A copy of a copy is the reproduction is going to have less detail on it than the first, and so on down the line. And so I don't know what generation of copy I have here, but it is not good. The symbols are really poorly put in there. I have a very high res scanner at my office and I attempted to scan it in to put into Markup XP. I couldn't even see it from the PDF that was generated from my scanner. I couldn't see most of the symbols. So I am trying my best just to work from the symbol chart. It is quite difficult because I'm sometimes having to even guess. Like there's even a strange mark. There's even a strange mark right up here. Like I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm not gonna stitch that, but it's a symbol. But no other flag has that strange mark right in the middle. I'm not gonna do it. But the colors are beautiful, and so I'm stitching a block a day on this, and this is where I've gotten to. So
So,
the day one was the border, day two was this first flag, day three was this corner lot, day four was this flag, and day five, which I have no idea how I messed up on my spacing, but I had to jerry rig this top area here. This is day five here, and I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just like, I don't know. I checked over the pattern like 17 times compared to what I did here, and it doesn't make sense how I've messed up. My numbers are all right,
right.
and yet
And
it doesn't work on the
zero. What is
so I'm just leaving it and moving on. But I do love, like, they did my favorite combination of colors right here. This flag right here has blue, pink, and brown in it. I guess that was a color combination back in yeah, that would have made sense. Because brown, hey, you're not messing up my yarn, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, just that one. You can mess that one up all you want, but not my other ones, okay?
This who right?
Yeah, and those ones we need to be nice and gentle and careful with, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That was probably a good color combination that they used back in the 1800s. I think of it as the 90s or colorway, and I love it. I love that combination. I don't know that I would put my entire home in that combination. Um, what was that quote from the Dolly Parton movie where Julia Roberts dies in the end? It's not fried green tomatoes. But it's something about her wedding colors. The pink that she chose is like my perfect pink. Like I would do I don't know if I do an entire room, but I'd at least do an accent wall in that color. Ooh, that could be my stitchy wall whenever we get a new house. Oh, that would be so awesome. So I believe that's it. I mean, I've done some more progress on some other projects, namely my Satsuma. But I don't it's not enough to show you. Instead, what I'd like to show you are the kits that I have received for the um, Jingle Bell Ball. A couple of them I am quite happy with. One I am not happy with at all, and I regret buying the kit. But I'm trying not to get frustrated. My son just deleted this whole thing that we were just recording. I'm gonna try and show you the kits again. So the kits came pretty quickly. I think by Friday I had all my kits, and so that's literally a week. And mail to Alaska is notoriously slow. So, but heartstring samplery for the bell pull, beautifully decorated. If you guys haven't seen, I've seen other YouTubers posting about how their kits came, and like the stand-up Santa box by Hands On Design. It is so adorable. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. This hair is driving me crazy. So it looks a little worse for wear now because I have handled this quite a lot, but it was beautifully packaged. I love the letter that she sent with the pictures on the front of the project, and on the back she gives you lots of tips. One of the things she says very clearly is you don't have to do anything before the actual class. You don't have to stitch single stitch. And then she's going to have a PDF tutorial for us to keep after the class so that when we finally do stitch this, if you're one of those people, I'm going to start it. Then you'll have the PDF tutorial. I don't know that I'll have it done though. I can't see that I will have it done because between my Christmas smalls exchange and my brother's Rio, which I haven't touched in a week, I just don't like that frame that I'm stitching it on. If I just take it off that frame, I'll probably stitch on it. But I hate that frame. Anyway, the other thing she says in here as one of the big tips is that for this bell pull, you have to start in the middle of the chart and in the middle of the fabric. because you have to make sure that you have enough on either end of this long tail to make sure that you can get all 24 or 25 days of Christmas in there. So next in there, we have the pattern, which is a novel. It is gorgeous. Jimmy, do not touch anything on my computer, okay? Don't touch the buttons, all right? Thank you, baby.
There's a thread right here.
Yo, thank you. So he's always
Mommy,
very
you
helpful.
know that tries to button. It's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Look,
So there's the picture. And the charts in here are gorgeous. I have been reading them over and looking at them, and I love it. Then we have the packaging for the hardware of the bell pull, which her husband made, and it is gorgeous. So it's a kind of a soft wood. I don't know if this is pressed wood or what, but he obviously wood burned these two, and then he jigsaw cut out the images, and then he put a hole in here for hanging. So this is the bottom, so it would actually go like this when you're putting it on your piece. And it's so beautiful. And I hear tell the rumor is that he's going to have more of these hardware pieces for sale at the market. So if you didn't take the class, you can still get the hardware and the pattern and everything like that. And then the rest of the kit came like this. Isn't that beautiful? So inside here, this beautiful golden box, we have a needle minder of a star that my sisters and I are thinking will turn into the tracking of the days when I'm finished. So there's that star. And I don't know if she made it or not, but it's handmade, and it's, I think, polymer clay. Enjoy your needle minder. Please tag us on Instagram. Oh no, this is by Cotton and Clay from the UK. I just rhymed. And then look at these DMCs. I have never seen these in particular here. Now, I'm going to read it because I know it's French. I just can't figure out how to say it. Uh, um, Mol, Muline Special Itole. Itole? That sounds Italian, but I don't know. I'm not good with reading other languages or anything. It's not that I don't want to, just can't seem to retain it in my brain no matter how hard I study. So we've got about four. So we've got red, white, yellow, and black in that, and it's still a six-stranded, and it's super soft. It feels like wool. Um, but it's got the sparkle in it, the stellina. And then we've got the regular DMCs underneath to complete the project. And then on top of that, we have is it 32 count? Linen. Now, my friends, you know I've never stitched on linen. You know I'm scared of it. You know I would rather not. 36 count linen. But I'm going to do it for this. I am in it. I am in it to win it, baby. But she cut out perfectly. Look how long this is. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So I have everything I need. I've even got finishing. I don't know what these other things are, but there's finishing. What's it called? Fabric underneath that, even on top of that. So I am all set to do this piece, and I am very happy. All I need is my needle, and I'm good. So this is all going in here, and I plan on casting this on probably this week. So that is my heartstring sampler bell pull project kit. Then the next kit that I got, this was a very last minute joining of the class and purchasing of the kit impulse. But I'm going to be honest with you, I also felt kind of bad because I was watching the live stream and it didn't seem like very many people were signing up to do the wreath. Honey, bunny, Jimmy baby, Mama's talking. I know you're excited. Do you want to take it in your room? You want to take it into your room? I know.
I love you, one.
Okay, but can you be hushaby? Hushaby, my darling. Thank you. Um, I felt bad because it seemed like, honey, hushaby. Um, it looked like nobody was really going in for the wreath, and it looked cute. And hey, what the heck? This this whole thing for the jingle bell, I had carte blanche from my husband to rack up the credit card. Now, we don't usually use our credit cards. We are cash based only. But I have had such a hard year physically, multiple surgeries, multiple ER visits. I'm at the point now where I can't even see clients, right? Because I'm so sick all the time. It's just been insane for me. And he was just like, "You know what, honey? If this gives you joy, go ahead. We will pay it off. We'll just make an extra effort to pay that off." Because we've always viewed our credit cards as literally emergency only. Okay. And so I took him at his word. I bought whatever I wanted. I bought swag from the Jingle Bell shop. I signed up and got the kits for whatever I wanted. It was great. Um, but there is one that I regret getting, but it's not this one. This was my last minute purchase of the wreath. And it came in this burlap bag. And inside, um, we have the floss kit with the DMC. We have a beautiful sticker. I love that sticker. We have the fabric, which think again is this looks like, I mean, I don't know fabric yet, but this to me looks like country mocha on 36 linen again. What is with you guys? Come on! Don't you know that Emily struggles with that? And we've got the felt backing. And then at the very back, we have a beautiful cardstock letter slash what this kit includes and a few little tips and tricks. So one of the things to note is that that you need to supply your own wreath of choice and materials for attaching. And so her emails include more information about those supplies, which I have not looked at those emails yet. Um, she also says these, if you don't want to make a wreath, like these little, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm hoping I remembered and have a picture up on the screen. But these will make really great gift tags that people can then use as ornaments. And I'm like, I love that idea. Um, I always struggle with wreaths, especially so any of the false greenery um that comes out at Christmas time. I wouldn't say I necessarily am allergic to it, but it does activate my eczema quite strongly, and it's already activated in the winter as it is. But she also says that this linen burlap bag that she sent everything in, that we can stitch any of the designs onto here as well and have that as a gift bag or something to give away as well. I love this. And it came with everything excluding the needle that I need. Now to my last one, which is the one that I was most excited to join. Hello from Liz Matthews, the snow globes. So here's how it came, which is very pretty. And inside here is a little tiny piece of foam, which I believe we're using to stick everything in. The pattern, a note from her, and I'm sorry, this is super stupid. I'm sorry. So she sent a sheet of stickers that has this collage of snowflakes on them. And she says in her letter that you're going to be able to cut these out and decorate with things. But here's the thing. The collage is so gradient and so moshed together. There's no way you can cut out anything from this and make it look pretty on whatever you put it on. It's going to look like trash.
Oh, you sure?
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she'll prove me wrong in the class, but from my opinion, I'm sorry. And all that I got else from that, she did send a little bit of snow, one tiny little wreath thing, a bow, which these are very cute, by the way. I'm not positive about what these sticks are for. I'm assuming that's what we're gonna mount things on, and a red ribbon, gingham ribbon, and a few bells. So there's that. And lastly, we were given the floss pack and then a strange piece of fabric that I am not stitching on. And in fact, her letter even says you're not stitching on it, but she doesn't explain what it's for. And the color key.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm not. Oh, and these really weird. She calls them floss drops. How are these floss drops? Look at this. Hello from Liz Matthews. They're so cute. And then on the back, there's lines and everything. There are no holes for me to make these into floss drops. And on my cards, my playing cards, okay, lower your voice, Emily. This is not, I'm just annoyed, okay? Because this was an expensive kit. And I feel as if the other kits, I feel were appropriately priced. This kit, I feel, was inappropriately priced. I could be wrong. I have literally done nothing from Hello from Liz Matthews. I've never done any of her charts. I've never taken a class from her. I'm not even on her Patreon because her Patreon to me is really expensive. I think it's like 20, she only has one tier and it's $25 a month, if my memory is correct. And I'm like, no way, Jose. I'm not doing it. But there's no way that I can put a hole anywhere in this floss drop and maintain the prettiness and the gorgeousness that this floss drop is. And I don't know why you would send out to people floss drops with no holes, because unless they're like me and are super quacky and just decide to start making floss drops on their own from card decks of cards that they have around the house, they're not going to go out and buy a die cut hole puncher so they can make their own floss drops. Okay, now here's the thing. Have you noticed I'm missing something? That's right. There's no fabric whatsoever in here. None. She doesn't supply any fabric. She says in the letter, that what does your kit include? DMC thread drop tags to customize. 2 pieces of cotton fabric, a sticker to sign your work. I don't think I got that sticker. A collection of embellishments, snow, wooden sticks, the pattern, styrofoam, Aleene's glue. Oh, I did get that. I forgot. I got that. I got a tiny, that's useful actually. That's pretty darn cool. Cotton project or gift bag and sticker page. What to stitch? Okay. I've spread out 21 images. What fabric should you stitch on? This project is Aida, linen, and even weave friendly, and I've made models using all 3 types of fabric. When finishing the models, the even weave was my favorite to work with. The models were stitched on 32 or 16 count fabric. While all my models were stitched on white fabric, you can use any color fabric you'd like. Okay. So when I read that, I was like, I get it. You want to give everybody carte blanche to pick their fabric and everything. But here's the deal. I don't want carte blanche. When a person buys a kit, we're buying it for the ease and the need for any kind of decision making being taken away from us. We want it all taken care of. And I'm sorry, but I wasn't taken care of with this kit. I also need to go out and buy the snow globe. Oh, and by the way, this was really weird. This came in a huge box. I'm talking huge box. So I was thinking, oh, is there something breakable in here? No. I don't know why it came in such a huge box. Anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining about that. I'm pretty darn sure I'm gonna have a marvelous time in her class, and I'm gonna get over my disappointment or frustrations pretty darn quickly and everything. And I am gonna get out some fabric. I'm just gonna get out some white 16 count and just go ahead and do that because I'm not gonna go purchase more fabric. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen. And I've got some pretty stiff 16 count Ada that'll be fine. Hey, we don't put yarn around our necks, baby. That can be dangerous. Thank you. All right, my friends. So, if I hope to see some of you at the Jingle Bell Ball. Remember, general admission is only $15. You can join all the stitch rooms, you can join the marketplace, you can join the interviews with the designers. I think there's something else that you can join and everything. So I had at first contemplated just buying that, but then my husband and I talked, and yeah, I really want to take the classes. The conversion of time to Alaska time, my gosh, I'm going to be up like at 4 a.m. for this. But that's okay. I'm not sleeping anyway. Well, so that's what's been happening over here. Me prepping for my 45 in 45 or 45 for 45 and prepping for the Jingle Bell Ball and my Smalls Exchange and having a grand old time over here. If you guys would like to join in on on any of it, I created a blank template. I'm calling it blank, but really what it is I just took out all of the things that referenced 45 for 45 but I kept in all the macros and the formulas otherwise that linked all of the pages in the workbook. I don't know how to convert it into a Google spreadsheet. I'm going to have to watch some tutorials on that because I don't know if Google Forms, or not Forms, spreadsheets can do macros. And that was a huge component of this thing. But anyway, and then I'm going to portify it up. And I'm either going to put it for sale on Etsy for like $4, or I'll just like give it away to whoever emails me and asks or message me and asks. I don't know. As for the giveaways, my friends, only one person has signed up, has left a comment on my last episode to be entered in. And that one person is a very good friend of mine. And she is out of the country, so she'll be getting a digital pattern. I've just decided, period, that my friend is going to get a digital pattern because she is the only one that consistently watches my floss tubes and comments on every episode. And she entered into the giveaway, so she is automatically a winner. Now, with that being said, I will wait another week, maybe two, people to sign up on that episode. Go back to episode 6, I believe it is. And watch so that you know what to do to enter in. And you can win these beautiful kits that do indeed come with everything you need. We have got the Christmas ornaments gold collection from Dimensions. We have got an additional copy of my Santa riding a bear for Christmas. And we have got the kitten hanging loose. Okay? So 3 amazing packages. All right, let's fix this up here. I know my lovies love everything that mommy does, and you get excited when I do stuff, but no, I don't want any more of my yarn ruined. Okay? All right, good boy. See, look, I'm gonna put it back together.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Sorry, mommy. And then Mr. Mommy's.
Yeah, you're okay. Here, let's just put all of those back in, okay?
No. I mean,
So yeah, go back and sign up, enter in to win. You know you want to. And until next week, in which I do a regular floss tube, I think next week might be the end of my weekly floss tubes. I don't know what the world will bring because I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to have surgery, if I can, what my schedule will look like because I'm going to start seeing clients again. I'm going to take it very slow, one a day for at least until the new year. And but yeah. Oh, and by the way, we got snow here in Alaska. I took the dogs out a little while ago when we first lost power just to see how the rest of the neighborhood was doing. We got snow on the ground. It's not a lot, it's just a dusting, but we got snow and it stayed. And we still have 5 days before Halloween. So anyway, until we meet again, remember, my dears, to knit, no, to cross stitch or craft what you love and to enjoy yourself in this world. Ta ta. Hi, my friends. I totally forgot that I was going to show you my screen here of my Excel spreadsheet that I created. So here is my master tracker, my first tab, and on here I have given everything a project ID. And what I've done is I've taken, like for knitting, everything for knitting is K, and then I just started numbering from 1. Then for cross stitch is CS, and I started numbering from 1. And I started over here with project name and everything. So you can see here that so far I have 10 knitting projects in. I did not include the ones that I'm going to frog. And let's see. So we've got, oh no, 11. No, 10. Oh, because I did, what did I do there? I didn't start on, no, this is line 1. Oh, this is line 1. Jeez, Emily, just stop it. And then I've got for knitting 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, for cross stitch 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. We've got 16 in there right now, and not all of them are in there. Then I've got progress tracker percentage wise, finish date if I know what it is. Then this right here, I have, this is one of my first macros in here. Does this count towards the 45? And this is an auto generator. And so if I tell it to, this will count towards, if it is finished, finish date is within the year. So watch, if I do this, if I say 07-25-2026, and if I press tab, oh, come on now. Why didn't you change? Date? Oh, because I put, because it's paused. I need to put finished, completed. Okay, now, true. There we go. See, there it is. But I'm going to put it back to pause. I'm going to delete that. So it's false for right now. So none of these things count right at this moment towards my 45 projects in 45. I have right here, a next tab is my progress tracker, which I think this might be a little bit redundant. I'm not sure. So as you can tell, I haven't exactly done anything with this. I've got my summary page. Why isn't everything showing? Here's my summary. Come on. Summary. 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 There you are. And so this tells you when my 45th year starts on. And this right here is key because it leads into everything else that's tied in to my macros and my everything else that goes into making this whole thing work. So, but on the template one, which I can show you, this is not there. Completed since start and remaining projects to reach 45. Qualified finishes, and this is an auto generator. Project dreams and ideas, I've just named a couple in here that I got my knitting blanket that I'd like to complete. And then my dashboard, which I worked the longest on. So total projects, I've got 27 currently in progress. So those are ones that I've marked as in progress, not paused. 7, look, craft types, cross stitch, 16 knitting. And I've included a lot of things in here. Let me go back to my, so on my craft type, I've got a drop down menu and I've got as many things in here as I could think of. So you can do any type of craft. But in my dashboard, I think I forgot to update it, so it only lists the main ones that I first started with. Anyway, then I've got finishes by month. Then I've got spend by craft type, if I wanted to track that. Then we've got
Hey, stop me on my yarn.
no, that's my yarn, honey. Then we've actually got like these charts or graphs that tell you. I can't figure out how to change the colors in each individual one. I got to figure that out. So how many do I have here versus cross stitch? You can see cross stitch is leading. Then stuck whips, we've got finishes by the month. We've got monthly or over or under budget. So then we've got spend by craft type, which I'm not really sure if I did this one correctly. So I still have to figure that out. There's my budget log that leads back into that. Obviously, I haven't spent anything. Materials inventory, if you want to use, which I didn't really go too into this one, but maybe I can make it better. But for you guys, it's just a plain one, but this is my master one, and I was just, going to town on as much as I could as far as what I thought would be useful for me to have for all of this. And I better stop recording because Jimmy wants me. He's upset because I got mad at him about my yarn because he wasn't listening. But now I will say ta-ta for now, my dear friends, and I hope that you have a wonderful week full of crafting goodness. Thank you.